Now let's speak about change of velocity, delta V. Delta V is measured in meters per second, but it means something very different to instantaneous and average velocity. Change in velocity tells us how much faster it's going at the end of the interval than the beginning of the interval. We find it by V final minus V initial. So for the first second, what was the change in velocity? At the beginning of that second, it was traveling at 0 meters per second. At the end, 10 meters per second. How much did the velocity change? Final velocity 10 meters per second minus initial velocity 0 meters per second. 10 minus 0 equals 10 meters per second change. During the second second, how much did the velocity change? The final velocity for that interval was 20 meters per second. The initial velocity 10 meters per second. 20 minus 10 equals 10 meters per second. The velocity also changed 10 meters per second during that interval. Pause the movie while you complete the rest of the gaps. Can you see that for each of these intervals, the velocity changes 10 meters per second? For the third second, final velocity 30 meters per second, initial 20 meters per second, 30 minus 20, 10 meters per second change. For the fourth second, final velocity 40 meters per second, initial 30 meters per second, 40 minus 30, 10 meters per second change. For the final second, final velocity 50 meters per second, initial 40 meters per second, 50 minus 40, 10 meters per second change. All of these intervals last 1 second. Let's take a different interval. Let's first of all take the entire duration. What's the change in velocity for the entire interval from 0 seconds to 5 seconds? Final velocity 50 meters per second, initial velocity 0 meters per second. Delta V for that interval is 50 minus 0 equals 50 meters per second change. What about if we take the interval from 3 seconds to 5 seconds? Final velocity 50 meters per second, initial velocity 30 meters per second. The change in velocity is 50 minus 30, 20 meters per second. For that interval, the velocity changed 20 meters per second.